Hello friends, welcome to your reading. My name is Paul. I'm so glad you could make it. Be sure to hit the like button if you enjoy these videos. It really does help out the channel. Now this is a general message for Aquarius. Try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Aquarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And you are the magician. You are someone who knows the art and science of manifestation. There is something that you are trying to communicate to the world. And I wonder if you've been struggling with communication, like in your life generally. That when you are trying to express yourself about very important things, it almost feels as if people are kind of willfully ignorant, that people just, the message doesn't always get through to everybody. Okay? Rest assured that your message is connecting with the people it's supposed to connect with. All right. The magician is very intelligent energy. Probably you know more than one language. Maybe that's the key to some of this. Maybe this is the idea of whatever you're trying to communicate right now. Perhaps we need to find a different way of communicating it. Maybe using the same words for everybody is not going to work, right? So maybe you're learning to be flexible and adjust your techniques depending on kind of who you're talking to in life, I think that right now you have the ability to build rapport with people. You have the ability to get your message out there, to get your message across, whether this is at the meeting at work, whether this is in school, maybe it's family, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's with your friends, maybe this is out to the world, out to the public, at large. Let's put this card into a little bit of context, okay? And now if there is anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, our next card is the Empress. Look at that. You are manifesting your best life. Okay? I think that you have a message of love. Yours is a message of healing. You are, you're manifesting this health and well-being. Okay? In some sense, too, this really could be a healing energy for you. It may be that you are a healer. We think this is a communication, but what if you're communicating, a frequency, a vibration of healing? Okay, so it could be that you're a natural healer. It may be that we're still figuring out exactly how to transmit our healing vibrations, right? Well, let's keep going anyway. We'll get some more details. There we have the Lovers. We have the Two of Cups, Seven of Wands, yes, and the Princess of Swords. So the Princess of Swords is confirming that we're sort of learning new techniques. Okay, it is a process of, maybe discovering new ways of communicating, especially in this relationship. Whether this relationship is a romantic relationship or a work situation, there is a commitment here. There is love here. There is a desire to be here and to heal and to merge with this energy. It could still be a work thing, I guess. It feels more like family, more like love to me, more like maybe romance. And it may be that we're trying to learn different ways of communicating because the message that we're trying to convey isn't always getting through. There seems to be a blockage here. Okay, let's look on the path of the Serpent. We got the Emperor. Got the Seven of Wands, Seven of Pentacles. We have the Star, and we've got the Nine of Wands. So you're not giving up. Okay, you're staying put because things are going to get very, very good for you. Okay, but we have to realize that right now might be the difficult part of the journey. This may be a little shocking. It may shock you to see a 7 and a 7, fire and earth. To me, this says that what we're trying to manifest isn't working. Our efforts, right, and the results of our efforts are being blocked. There's an opposition. There's fighting. There is a failure to thrive. What we're trying, we have the very best of intentions, but it's not working. Doesn't mean it's not going to work. I think really the way forward for you is in learning new techniques. It's kind of like let's go back to white belt. Let's not give up on our intention. We've got this very intense spiritual energy here and here and here. So you're not giving up. You may be shocked to see the 7 and the 7, right? The hard work, but the opposition and the failure of this to really connect, the failure of this manifestation. But you're not giving up. See, you've got the Emperor, you've got the 9 of Wands here. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. And we're just going to set it down right here with Alien Simon Mork Ripley right there on top. And we're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need. Spirit's saying something about you. I don't know if you saw a UFO or you're interested in the whole UFO stuff going on, or what do they call it now? The UAP, I guess, or ufology or whatever the heck it's called now. But I feel like there's some connection there for you. I don't know if maybe you saw something a long time ago, or you've had a more direct connection or something along those lines. Yeah. The Spirit's referencing that. But there's something about your message that you're trying to communicate, this vibration of healing, a vibration of love. It's a high vibrational energy, but it's not connecting with everybody. Okay, and I feel like that is frustrating. Yeah. So we've got major, 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 major. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcana energies. 5 of them. That's good. That's 50%. 50% spirit, 50% you. Okay? And I think that it's that's showing that you are a master of manifestation. Okay? That you understand the art and science of manifestation, because we realize it's 50-50 with us and spirit. You are a co-creator. Okay? But also what that 50-50 means is with your Emperor, you understand that all you can do is your very best. You can be the best magician that you can be, but if the other party's not receptive, the universe has other plans, if there's something going on, external to you, things may not manifest in the way that you intend. Now that always comes back to us. Okay, well then maybe I need to take my magic and apply it in a little bit of a different way to a different group of people, a different object, a different goal, something like this. There are some little tweaks that we need to make in order for that mastery to really come through and for the manifestation to work perfectly, right? But all we can do is our part. We can't control what other people do. There are always factors, infinite and unknown. There's always a variable. Okay, so the Emperor really reminds us of that it is 50-50, and all we can do is our half. Okay, we can't control the way other people might receive the message. But if our manifestation, if our magic isn't working, we need to bring it back to ourselves and say, okay, how do I need to grow? How do I need to change? What do I need to learn? What do I need to do differently? Do I need to learn a new skill? Do I need to think differently? Do I have to sort of unlearn some things? Do I have to learn a new language or something along these, a new method of communication? Like, what do I got to do? Do I need to maybe look at a different place? Do I need to apply my energy to a different object, right? Because it all comes back to what we are capable of doing. We don't want to keep banging our head against the same wall and getting the same result. So we have to do something differently. We can't tell the wall to be different. We can't tell the wall to be a door. We might have to just learn how to get through the wall or how to move over a couple inches and get to the door. Okay? But that's our responsibility. Because the magic ultimately is, it comes back to us, and there is some sort of imperfection. If it's not working, then something's out of alignment. Okay? But you have a lot of major arcana energy. Spirit is with you in this. You have fire, you got water, you got air, and you got earth. Okay? Despite the fact that we have an obstacle, a blockage of your will, and a failure of that will to connect and for this to be a perfect manifestation, you've got the love and the strength and the ability to learn. That's going to say, stay put. This is going to get good. Okay? Don't go anywhere. You can figure it out. And you will figure it out, and it's going to be an absolute blessing. We see that with the Empress card. Right? We see that you are manifesting something that is beautiful and holy and sacred, that is going to be cherished, right? It is worth the effort. And this is saying that, look, here things are gonna succeed. Right now, you might not be experiencing that because you got the 7 and the 7. I try, but I feel that there's some blockage and it ain't working. Well, pretty soon you're getting the Empress. All of the Pentacles will eventually become the Empress. What we've got to do is learn how to take this failure and what we can tweak, what we can adjust, what can we do to align and to grow and all that stuff so that this 7 of Pentacles can become the Empress. And then we have this fire connecting with this earth rather than this fire and this earth, which this is, there's some incompatibility. What we're doing isn't working. Maybe we're manifesting the wrong things. Maybe it's, Harry Potter. You're trying to make, I don't know, make a potion, and it turns out you create like a bat or something. I don't know. But the Magician and the Empress, this is magic. We are manifesting. We are using our magic. We are trying to channel our own spiritual light out into the world. You're trying to communicate, and I think it's a communication or a manifestation of some kind of love, healing. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a family thing. It could be a creative thing. It could be this is you working on a garden. We're trying to grow something here. We're trying to grow our best life, our best self, and our best life. This is the Empress, right? It represents me being my very best self, living my very best life. Okay? And it is the highest good. It is the highest beauty and bliss and blessing and love and abundance that you could imagine. Okay? And so it feels like this is our destiny. And this is what the Magician is trying to do. Channel the starlight through us, through our nervous system, our body, our mind, our heart, our soul, out into the world, right? You're trying to take the light from the star, channel it through you, to create the world around you, to create your reality, to create whatever it is specifically for you. But there's some kind of blockage going on. Okay? We need to figure out a different adjustment. We need to continue to tinker with it until we come into perfect alignment. Okay? It's not an issue of you wanting it or needing it. It's not an issue of it being your destiny. It's an issue of there's a little change in communication. There's a little adjustment that you have to make within yourself. It's a learning process. We have to learn a little bit. Because that starlight, as it comes through us, it's going to have to go through our heart and our mind. Your heart is fine. You got this 2 of Cups behind you. You have pure intentions here of a connection. It's an urge to merge. It's a love. You've got nothing but love in your heart for this thing. I think maybe it's a relationship or like a family thing of some kind. And maybe it's a creative project. Maybe it's a work thing. Maybe you're building a business. That could be possible. You got the right intention. You've got the right love. Your heart's in the right place. Definitely. Just left of the midline. It's your intentions are pure. Okay? The mind, right? Because like I said, when we're manifesting, the spiritual light has to go through our heart, our mind, and out to through our fingertips, in the work that we do, the behaviors. But it has to go through the heart and the mind. And I think the mind right now needs to make a couple of adjustments. There's either some piece of information that you're not aware of yet, some bit of data that you need to learn or to collect. It's a skill that maybe needs to be worked on or tweaked a little bit. It could be that who you're saying it to is not receptive to the way you're saying it. That's all. It's just the frequency between you and them, just a little bit off. Okay? We can't tell them, hey, you need to tune your antenna. No, I got to tune my transmitter. We can't tell other people, hey, you're out of alignment. You need to harmonize with me. Adjust your radio dial and tune into what I'm saying. Tune into my frequency, will you? No, we adjust our own transmission frequency to connect with the right thing, to connect with that person in a way that they're receptive to. Okay, within limits. And that has to be, again, where you kind of take responsibility. We don't need to lower our vibration to connect our message or to connect our own spirit and our own light with everybody. So how far are you willing to make the adjustments? How far are you willing to sort of tune your radio before you're on a completely different radio station? Maybe that person's just not receptive to the music you're making, the song that you're singing, You're not changing your song, but you might try to change your tune a little bit to connect with that person. You have to be the decider of that. And that's where, obviously, where your Emperor energy comes from, but also with the Lover's card. This is the choice, the commitment. This is the promise. This is a match made in heaven. This is saying, yeah, I believe that this is my destiny. And with my entire being, I've said yes to this thing. So you care about this. Your heart's in the right place. We may just have to tune ourselves a little bit, make some little adjustments. But this is that commitment. This is your choice. And it's the Lover's card. It could be a family thing, could be a romance, but it doesn't have to be. You're somebody that when you say yes to something, when you commit to something, you're all in. You've committed 100% to this. Okay? Which means that you have to give yourself a little bit of slack. You have to give yourself a little bit of a degree of tolerance. That if I'm going to tune in with this other person, I can adjust my dial left or right within a certain range. Anything outside of that range, and we're singing different songs. So we stay in this range, but we don't just have this idea that it's one way and it's the right way and that's the only way. It's my way or the highway kind of thing. We have to be a little bit flexible, and that's a quality of the magician too. The magician is very flexible. The magician can make adjustments. See, the magician can either adapt to the situation or can change the situation. I think it should be a little bit of both, right? 50-50 kind of energy. So we want the environment, we want our life to be a certain way. Okay. Now, we can either adjust ourselves to fit into the life that's there, or we can change the life that's there to fit into me. I think it's a combination of both. I think that, we need to grow and change and be flexible and adapt, but then we also want to optimize the situation. Now, the magician can do any of these things. You can take the magician and drop it into any circumstances, and it can adapt, and it can figure out how to pretty much make it work. But just because you can fully adapt to something doesn't mean that you should. Nor does it mean that everything else out there must adapt to you. It's a compromise. It's all a flexibility. Maybe there's somebody in your life that's not very flexible. Maybe there's an area of your life where you're not being too flexible. Okay? And we need to learn these things. We need to figure those things out and think about these things. How can I be a little bit more flexible in my attunement, my frequency? And is that other person I'm trying to connect with, are they willing to sort of meet me somewhere and try to match up the signals? Okay? But just because you can adapt to your environment doesn't mean you have to. Nor does it mean that your environment is going to be forced to adapt to you. It doesn't work that way. So it's the 50-50 idea here is coming up strong. But there is a commitment in you. And I think that maybe this is a romantic relationship, family relationship, a best friend. It could be a coworker relationship. It could be between you and the company. It could be kind of between ego and true self. Okay? But there is a desire for this union. This is energy that's trying to bring things together. Okay? And the only sword card that you have is the Princess of Swords, trying to learn whatever I have to learn. If I got to go back to white belt, if I've got to go back to first, second, or third grade or whatever, in order to figure out what I missed or what I don't know, I'm willing to do that. This is a humbleness. And then the magician, can very often assume it knows everything. This is Mr. Know-It-All, right? Or Mrs. Know-It-All, Miss Know-It-All. The magician feels like I know all the information because I'm tuned into spirit. I got just a direct connection to everything, the infinite knowledge, right? And yeah, maybe that is true. This is that humility that says I also need to be smart enough to know that I don't know everything. The wise person is aware of their own ignorance, right? So there are things that we don't know. There are things that we cannot see. And maybe there are other things happening that are outside of our control. Okay. All we can do is try to be as flexible as we will kind of allow ourselves to be in a reasonable way. We don't want to be too rigid, but we don't want to be so flexible and so adapting and so accommodating that we will accept whatever miserable energy is being sent our way. Okay, we don't have to accept life exactly as it is. The magician has the power to change reality. Okay, kind of in proportion that we're willing to change is how much we're going to be able to change our world. Okay, so there's enough awareness to say there's something out there that I need to know. There's something out there I can learn. I have to grow and expand my powers in some certain way. I'm humble enough to know that I don't know everything. I don't know all the details yet. My way is not always the right way. The way I'm saying things is not always the perfect way. So I can learn, I can listen, and I can grow. This card's all about learning. And learning is what we need to do when we're facing an obstacle, when we keep doing the same thing and getting the same results. The same problem is out there, and we keep doing the same techniques, hitting it with the same tool. I keep banging my head against the wall. I'm not learning anything. I'm not learning. There's nothing going on there, right? But we add in the Princess of Swords, and it's saying, okay, every time I approach this challenge, this obstacle, this problem, I'm going to adjust myself a little bit and try again. I'm learning. And then that didn't work. Okay, I'm going to adjust myself a little bit, and I'm going to try again. Until eventually it breaks through. Okay, until eventually we have connected, and that's kind of what we see at the end here, that connection. Now let's talk about the path of the serpent. As we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed, please do. These readings are totally free. Your general energy is the Emperor. Okay, between the Emperor and the Magician, it's kind of like I am all-knowing and I am all-powerful, right? And yeah, you are, but also you're not. I think that there is, it's kind of like, we're co-managers, right? It reminds me of The Office. We're co-managers. So we're co-creators with Spirit. We are all-knowing and we are all-powerful, but then at the same time, we don't know anything and we aren't capable of anything. Okay? So it's a spiritual paradox, but it's a spiritual truth. Just as sometimes the magician can feel that it knows the right way to do everything and has all the information and all the knowledge. It is the Lord of magic and knowledge and science and all this kind of stuff. It already knows everything. And the same way the Emperor can sometimes feel every card has light and shadow. Every card has its challenges. Sometimes this is the card that says, my way is the right way. If it's not working, it's not a problem with me, it's a problem with it or them. Okay? Because I'm all powerful. This is the way to do it. This is going to work. If it's not working, it's not my fault. And so there's kind of a disconnect. If we feel like we're all powerful, but something isn't working the way we intend, the relationship, the business, the project, whatever, then it creates this kind of weird cognitive dissonance, because if I'm all-knowing and all-powerful, then this should work. then there should be no question, right? And so we're confronted with this 7 of Pentacles, and it's kind of like Michael Scott saying, okay, crunch the numbers again. Well, if that is banging your head against the same wall, you're going to get the same result. So the Emperor comes in and says, well, no, that's not right, because I'm all powerful and I'm all knowing. Hit it again. And then you hit it again, it's the same thing. So we need that humbleness and we need that ability to learn, and you have that. Okay? So I'm not accusing you of having these kinds of qualities, but I'm saying that you're aware of your power and you're aware of where you may need to expand your techniques or be flexible and to grow and to learn. Okay? Because you have the Princess of Swords here. You have that humility that says, okay, I may be all powerful in a spiritual sense, but I know that, my human mind, I need to grow. I need to learn things. I don't know everything. I'm not capable of everything. Maybe this is idea of getting in some outside help, or taking some classes, or doing a little more research, or just altering what we're doing a little bit, making some little tweaks. You're taking responsibility for your life. You're taking responsibility for I don't like calling it a failure, right? You're taking responsibility for the obstacle that's in front of you. Okay? You have the very best qualities of both the Magician and the Emperor. And the Emperor is saying, I'm responsible for what I'm all powerful in the sense that I have the power to change and grow and adapt and apply my energy to this problem. I'm taking responsibility and ownership of this issue. Even if I didn't cause it, even if I really want to believe that it's your fault, their fault, I'm taking responsibility for what I can do. And so if there's this 7 of Pentacles is in the position of your environment, position of your relationships, if there's something not working in your life right now, we don't just want to blame others, nor are you blaming yourself. It's not really even about blame, right? We don't see swords cards here. We don't see a lot of blame. We see acceptance. We see flexibility. We see humbleness and humility, and we see learning. We see communicating. We see openness. We see adaptability. Okay, we see commitment and love. So it's not about who caused the problem, but it's about us, because this is the only person we're responsible for is ourselves. This is about us saying, I'm going to accept responsibility and do whatever I can do, grow however I can grow to fix it. And I hope and pray that you do the same, that the other party is also doing that, If I had to guess, I don't know, maybe it's another Aquarius person. I was going to ring the bell for your star card here, Aquarius, but it's in a weird position. It's in the position of what you don't want. Okay? And maybe what we're not so keen on receiving is the truth, in a way, right? Because sometimes that star card is a message that's coming in. And it might be a message coming in that we really I don't want to hear it, I'm going to ring the bell anyway, because this is your superpower card. Okay, this is the card that rules the sign of Aquarius. But this is in a very strange position. It's the card you don't want. And maybe this is like you don't want to accept responsibility for this situation. You don't want to take kind of ownership of it. You don't want to be responsible for it. You don't want to take the blame, right? But it could also be that you don't want to potentially learn that this other person isn't meant for you. As much as you're committed and loving, your heart's in the right place, and you're being flexible, you're being humble, you're learning, you're open, you have all these great qualities. Maybe we're sort of scared of learning that the other person's not willing to meet me halfway, 50-50, right? Could explain why this card is here. It could be saying that despite your very best efforts and all of these wonderful qualities that you're displaying and that you have this willingness and this love and this commitment, maybe we're scared of the possibility that the other person does not have the same qualities as you, that the other person is not willing to meet you in the middle, is not willing to be flexible or come to the table, have a sit down. that the other person is not even close to singing the same song as you. I'm not saying that's true, but I'm saying that might be our fear, is that we'll learn something we don't want to learn. Okay? But what I imagine is happening is that you are connecting. You are aligning yourself with your true self. And I believe that your intention here will manifest in a very positive way. Okay? You have strength as that 9 of Wands. You have strength because you are committed to your purpose. The sun and the moon conjoined here. We could be talking about a romantic relationship in this situation. And I think that that we are nervous that the other person's not going to be on our wavelength, or that they're not willing to be as flexible as you're willing to be. We're talking about you needing to be flexible and needing to take responsibility and accountability. But what about the other person? We can't control what they do. You have to be fortified against whatever happens. All you can do is try your very best. So the Spirit's not giving you an outcome here, at least not yet. Spirit's not telling you whether your efforts are going to really pay off. And I believe that you are manifesting your best life. I don't know if it is exactly what you're expecting or not, or with the person that you're sort of expecting it to be with. But you're going to be okay no matter what. You have strength and fortitude within yourself. And this is what you are building through this situation, through you attacking the problem and learning. Every time you approach the problem, you're learning something. What is this process doing for you? Making you stronger. Regardless of the outcome, it's making you stronger so that you will always be focused on creating your best life and your best self. You're forging yourself into a strong, strong person through the difficulties, through your being willing to face the difficulties and learn from them. Okay? I don't know if this relationship is going to work out. Let's look at the mystery card. Okay? I don't think it matters. I don't think it's going to tell us if it works out or not. I think we'll end up getting another 9 of Wands. It's about who you're becoming through facing your problems here. Okay? Who you're becoming. Now, if you have a prediction for this card, put it in the comments. We're hoping to see some water energy, right? Some love. Hoping to see a 6 or a 9 or a 10 of cups. Yeah. Hoping to see another Empress energy, perhaps. Because you have, in a way, you've got, look, you have the alchemical union. You've got Emperor, Empress, and you got the marriage of the two. Okay? And maybe this is it. Maybe it's because, maybe we'll see maybe this will be the chariot, right? The vessel, the container within which you're strengthening your bond with this person. Maybe that's what the strength is here, is the strength of the union between you and this other person. I'm really feeling now that it is a romantic thing, or it's some kind of a partnership that is beyond just the physical plane. It's a spiritual connection, okay? And if we are looking at this as a marriage or as a romantic relationship, it is through the challenges and through learning through the challenges and growing in strength that your bond to each other becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. Okay? So that might be a deeper part of this message here. By facing your problems together, with commitment and love, with the heart in the right place, by willing to be flexible and attentive and learning and growing, right? Your bond with, Emperor, Empress, the bond with this person is going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. It's kind of hard to deny that angle, right? Let's see what we have. The star. I think the star, wow, this is confirming to me that you're on the path of your destiny. Okay? The star is saying, no, wait a minute. You have to look at this. You have to accept that that you're becoming your best self. Okay? And I think that the fear that this is going to be just you becoming your best self, you doing everything that you can, but the other person's not not trying, I think let's dispel that rumor, because now you have two stars coming together, forging in the fires of challenges and becoming stronger. The bond between you and this person is going to become unbreakable. You are both stars. You are both doing that work, right, of becoming your best self. Two individuals becoming the best version of themselves and then uniting together. It's like a power couple. You're unstoppable together, right? This is a blessing, right? This and it may feel shocking at first, but I think that you're both doing that work. You're both becoming strong individuals, and together you're going to be just unbeatable, unstoppable, unbreakable. This is really fantastic. I love the way this played out. We're going to do an extended reading as well. Okay, we'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link up top. There's a link down below. New readings for Aquarius Thursdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.